Hey guys, welcome back to the Bronc Pod. Today we're going to be discussing some sensitive topics, so just as a fair warning, we want to let you guys know, but I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Hey, welcome back to the Bronc Pod. It's your host Cici, and I have a very, very special guest. It is Zailee. Welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm really happy that this is happening, and we have some really good things to talk about today. So, before this video post, you guys are going to be going through finals, which you guys, we're almost there. I know I finished my finals, and I'm so happy that I did. You guys are putting in the work, grinding, you're doing what you need to. And so by the time this comes out, you guys have reached the end of block 1, so congrats to you guys. Kudos. Keep up the good work. So with coming, finals week can be intensely stressful and just, crazy. And, you and I, we both go into our manic phases where it's too much.
It's bad.
Sometimes. A lot of 1 a.m. crying, sobbing calls where it's like, hey,
too many.
I need some help. So we're here to talk about some mental health coping strategies and just the topic of mental health because it's critically important, especially for college kids like us and women our age and guys our age. So it's super, super important. So finals week, how are you holding up?
Things are a little bit of a mess right now, but we're getting through it. I still have all of my finals to take, so gonna be a lot of studying this weekend. But
time to lock in.
Time to lock in. Taking a lot of drinking a lot of Red Bull, taking Adderall,
Non-sponsored.
doing my thing, but not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored at all. That's one of our coping strategies. Just kidding. Tons of aspartame. So, kind of going on personal experiences. What are some things that you have found helpful in the past that has helped you when things have gotten way too much, especially us being seniors now? We have had so many experiences of being incredibly burnt out. We both know what it feels like. And so what are some things that you do that really help you kind of wind down and oh my gosh, I need to take a breath?
Recently, when things become way too much for me to handle and I get way overwhelmed with, studying, work, practice, all of the above, I always call my friends and my family.
Yep.
I give myself a little brain break. She is one of those friends. But if I'm in the middle of studying and I just cannot retain any more information, I give myself a little brain break. Call my friends, call my mom, call my dad.
Oh, Tala. Shout out Tala. She's a saint.
She absolutely is. She deals with too much from me. But I just give myself those little brain breaks and talk about everything else other than school. And that is super, super helpful. Yeah. But let's see. What else do I do? I also organize everything. I am really big at organizer, so I organize out my entire days. Within those days, I organize exactly what I need to get done.
Calendar is pretty planned out.
Yes,
I've seen it. It is very intricate.
My calendar has to the T exactly everything I need to get done, so that I don't lose anything in the midst of it. Because when I wasn't planning,
shout out Google Calendar.
Shout out Google Calendar. She has helped me so much.
For any of the freshmen that might be listening on this, please utilize that. When your professors or even admin are hey, take the Google Calendar class, take the class because it did not saved me. Neither did I. Sophomore or junior year, I was oh my god, this is so nice.
Yes,
I can color code things and I can make little time slots and I can even put what room I'm gonna be in.
Yes, exactly. And
so
even
nice.
Just random stuff I need to go grocery shopping. I need I need to get this done. I need to sew my pants. That's one thing that's on my list right now. You can put it all down and not forget a single thing.
I do that with if you have iPhone, I do as you've seen, I have my reminders, so I have my entire life built out. So anything from meetings to practice, because I could even forget about practice sometimes.
I have,
especially this week.
I forgot.
It's been crazy. And anything between meetings and practices or working, staying organized on like those little like platforms or those little apps are so helpful.
Yes.
So
Crazy
those
helpful.
are always super, super nice. Personally, my version of a brain break is I just like to like expose myself to like a little bit of brain rot. Like, and I don't mean like TikTok brain rot. Like, I'll just go on YouTube and I'll either watch like, okay, I might get bullied for this, but yes, I watch gaming videos, and because I love gaming, and so I'll watch like Jacksepticeye or like Markiplier, and I'll just listen to Markiplier like scream during his "Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. Welcome back to Five Nights at Freddy's." I live for it because it takes me out of like my academic zone, and I can just like enjoy the company of just not having to worry about anything.
Yes,
and I can watch like a quick 10-minute like 3 scary game video, and then I can get back to like reading. Like that's what I did. Like that's how I survived my ethics class.
Yes.
Like I just did it in increments because I was reading like 20 to like 18 to 20 pages of just like strict philosophy stuff, and so my brain was just so fried. Like I called you so many times.
Yeah,
I called like Shania too, like crying because I'm like I understand this, so I'm just gonna watch some Markiplier. I'm gonna go back.
Give yourself a break.
And then I'm gonna go back, and yeah, that. Shout out Markiplier for really really being
holding you together,
piecing me back together. I also color. I don't know. Do you color?
I am a big colorer. I actually have so many like adult coloring books that.
Do you have like the curse word ones?
The what?
Like the curse word ones where it's
I don't personally have it, but shout out KCM. Yeah. He had the curse word ones, and so really fun. I definitely stole a few pages from that. I also have a little secret. I love Bluey. It is one of my favorite TV shows, and so I have a Bluey coloring book
I've been
coloring in. So yeah, I'll use that as like my little brain breaks too. Or if I'm just like overwhelmed and stressed out, I'm like, bro, I just need to relax and color.
Yeah, so we got coloring, we got Markiplier, we've got
organizing
and talking to friends and family. Those are all super, super. I mean, they're good little brain breaks, and like over time, or I mean, is brain rotting really okay over time? Probably not, but like in the moment,
it's okay.
It's okay. You have that excuse because if you're an academic weapon and you're grinding your work and you're doing like biochem or like physics, you deserve a Markiplier break.
Yes,
you deserve a gaming break. Like, take, like, 10, 15 minutes aside, do something other than whatever
you're doing.
I don't know. Like, go stretch. Or make yourself a smoothie.
Oh, my gosh. Walks help.
Hot girl walks. Amazing. Just go on a hot girl walk. Go touch some grass. Or, like,
just go stand outside.
Do something. See a squirrel. I don't know. Like, you can do anything. The sky is the limit. So the next thing I want to talk about is, like, things that don't work for you. That make you feel even more stressed out.
Oof. I've had to go through too many things that did not work to realize what does. I'm an isolation girly. Mm-hmm. I love to isolate when I get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Learning to not do that.
Yeah, breaking that.
Breaking that habit of like, when I start to feel like I want to disappear and like, just hide away in my room. Calling my friends.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times I called Cici and was just like, bro,
we need to go do something.
We need to go do something right now.
It was easier because last year we lived together, and so I would just like creep in your room and I'm like, hey, like let's go do something because I can tell that you're being a hermit right now.
Yes.
So kind of getting exposed to some like social interaction instead of just isolating yourself. I think that's really important. For me, it was just like I've always had that like mental toughness mindset where I'm just like I just need to tough it through. And I just need to just get over it and just finish the homework. But then I got so burnt out and so anxious so quick. And often at times I would get more panic attacks. And it was, during these like study sessions or when I was reading that I would just like break down.
Yeah.
And so learning to know that it's okay to take a break. And it only took me 3 years to realize this.
Same.
But it's a learning curve, guys. It only takes a few tries for you to figure it out. But it took me 3 years.
That was one of my points was like don't add anything else to my plate. Because I love to stack my schedule up.
Yep.
Like if I have any time to like, settle down, I won't take it. I'm like, I need to add something else.
Like you feel like you need
I feel like I constantly have to be doing something, but learning that it's okay to like give myself a break and like feel okay with myself, getting a break. Like, just don't add anything else, you know?
No. It's choosing. My mom always said this is like choose your own battles and pick your own wins rather than, pick your losses. Pick your wins and pick what works for you. And it's okay to say no. And it's okay to, to be okay with just being content with what you have now. And like if if things clear up and possibilities happen, then like take those chances. Like that's also fine too. So this one's kind of a deep one. So this one says mental health journey to fight and find the right path, or what is the right path? And I mean, this can kind of go like any type of way that we want to take this. Personally, kind of getting a little personal here. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when I was a senior in high school. Actually, I was a junior in high school. And I didn't fully find out until I actually had my signing for Hastings College, like the day of my signing, until I had a panic attack and I was sent to the hospital because I was just like, I was not okay. And from there, they were like, like, have you had like, symptoms of so and so and so? And I was like, yes, I feel A, B, C, like, etc. And they were like, well, it's very highly that you have like high anxiety, like bipolar disorder. And I was like, that makes so much sense because I would get so manic and I would stack myself up with so many commitments on top of being a student athlete and a student and a sister and a daughter. It became too much. And then I was just like, break down and then get into like those terrible lows. And so finding the journey of like balancing that out without also like heavily medicating yourself was also a crazy journey. Like going like trying medication for the first time. Like I was on Lexapro for like the first time ever, and like that was my first medication I took, and it was not for Cici. Like it just completely changed me personally, and it just made me somebody that I didn't enjoy looking at every time I woke up and looked in the mirror. And I was just, I didn't like who I was, and I didn't like the things that I was doing and the actions I was doing and the way that I was thinking about life. I was like, you know what? Like, I need to be doing something different.
Yeah.
And so I got more invested into, podcasts and especially gaming. Like, gaming was like my outlet. And I know I'm talking a lot about that, but like, seriously, like getting into like the gaming community had like really helped me because it was like tons of strangers that I didn't know who were all quirky and weird like us.
So yeah, it could let you be you,
out. And finding therapists is like a whole different debacle to talk about, and like we'll get into that too. But like it's a very, very long journey, and like I'm still figuring it out and everything, but I just kind of want to know like your take like on how things like, I want to know, like, more.
Okay. So this was actually one of the points that I had no idea what even to write. When you sent me out the notes. But I am still struggling to figure out how to manage everything. And, finding new ways to deal with life in general. But I also was diagnosed with like ADHD, depression, anxiety, all of that fun, amazing stuff.
You got like the real inside out, like emotions like living inside you.
Yes, exactly. So I actually didn't get diagnosed until like way later into life, which
I feel like happens like talking to a lot of like our friends and like others, like especially the girls, like we don't like it doesn't happen until we like enter college or like the older stages of our life, and then we're like, oh my gosh, I'm a little messed up.
Yeah, like I've
just been doing life like on the whim this entire time.
Yeah,
like,
like just how did I do that?
Doing this?
So yeah, that was kind of wild to like find out because like I mean obviously throughout like middle school, high school, I was always kind of like I have problems.
I'm in
like,
my own little world.
I'm in my own little world. Like I'm trying to figure stuff out, but I was too scared to go to the doctor about it.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I just avoided it, and I was one of those people that were like, I can figure it out on my own. I can do it by myself.
Yep.
I can handle it.
You
whatever.
feel a lot bigger than the problem, but it
Yes.
turns out that problem is a way, way bigger issue than you.
Yeah. Then I realized.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a big monster. It's a big scary monster that sleeps under your bed.
Yeah. So it wasn't really until about like this year that I finally was like, okay, I definitely need, to figure my stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be doing it on my own.
Yeah.
And like I also had to come to terms that like it's okay to be medicated also. Because I was one of those people that, like, I didn't shame other people for being medicated.
Yes.
I had many people in my life.
No shame for people who are medicated or not medicated, who believe that, medication works, to those who believe that it does. Like,
exactly. Like,
I
had many people in my life that were medicated that I looked up to insanely, But for me personally, being medicated, like, was not an option. I didn't want that for me.
Yeah.
And it was just really intimidating. So
it is, because you don't
know what
what's
to
in
expect,
it, or what the outcome's going to be. So it's like, especially being young girls experiencing this for the first time, like, it's incredibly intimidating.
Yeah. It was too much, for me to think about, in the past. So it wasn't really until this year that I like had to come to terms, like, sometimes it's okay to need that extra help.
Yeah.
When our bodies aren't producing chemicals that are needed. Medication is medication for a reason. It is there to help. And if you don't need it, then you don't need it. If you do need it,
and there are totally other different ways too. Like, if people disagree with the medication part, like, and we'll talk about this, but there are so many different routes.
Yeah, and like that's also like I have, I don't take antidepressants. I don't take anti-anxiety medication or anything like that. Because
I'm an anxiety pill.
I personally just didn't like it when I was on it.
Yeah.
Because I have tried it. I've tried different antidepressants and stuff, and I just didn't like myself on it. So I had to, learn different mechanisms and like coping mechanisms.
Yep.
To deal with it instead of using a medication.
Like coloring in your Bluey book.
Like coloring in my Bluey book, exactly.
So like the next point I kind of want to talk to is about therapy, and whether or not is therapy the right way, and the commodity now of online therapy, because I was always the in-person type of girl, and then when COVID hit, it just like completely
shut
changed.
It all down.
Yeah, exactly. So like I couldn't see my therapist anymore and everything like that. Do you have like any therapy experience at all?
Not tons.
Mm-hmm.
I am more of a go to my people kind of person. I feel a lot more comfortable going to the people that I know have my back.
Yep.
And I have tried therapy in the past when I was like way younger, like middle school, high schoolish, and I hated talking to a stranger. Like, it was one of those things that like I could not get myself to open up whatsoever. So like nothing was actually figured out from that experience.
So like when you walk into like you think about like I literally called it like the forbidden couch. Like, it's uncomfortable. It's like super dank and dingy in there. Yes. And like I remember
I feel like you have to like sit up straight and like
just,
hands in your lap, just like
the couch like creaks every time you move, and then it's like super quiet, and they have just like pictures of like kittens.
Yeah.
Like you just feel like super weird, and it just feels like super
it's not a comfortable spot like to be in.
No. And then like I remember this one time I was experiencing, like, I was going through like different therapists because it was like within my network, so I was like, I want to experience different types of therapy and see what works and what doesn't work. And I remember I went into this one and it just reeked of patchouli. Like, it just was like, it was so bad, and it was like diffusers everywhere, and the couch felt weird, and it just smelled weird, and I was like, I can't do this, like, I'm gonna throw up.
You like don't want to open up in like those situations either.
Yeah.
Like, you can't talk about your deepest, darkest secrets.
Because you're like,
you're
I've
so
only known
uncomfortable.
You for 30 minutes. How can I just be like, oh, I'm gonna trauma dump about like everything
that's happened in my entire life.
Exactly. Like how families messed up, or parents were addicts, like blah blah blah. Like, that's incredibly intimidating.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
I don't want to do this.
So yeah, my point was like, does talking to strangers feel better than just talking to friends? Like, personally, I'd rather trauma dump to you at 3 a.m. in the Taco Bell parking lot than, you know, sometimes like hopping on like an online, I don't know, like the whole idea about like online therapy too has also been like super, super popular and super like I said, a hot commodity just because it's a lot more flexible. It's a lot more, you know, easy because we can do it in the comfort of our homes. So like you and I can be in our bedrooms and like we can feel safe to like kind of open up. But like for me, I need like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I need like that personal like interaction. Like I need to see you and I need you to be present and I need your like energy to also be present. And I can't do that over the screen. Like it's something that I've tried and I can't. Like I tried doing, you know, like a program, or not a program, but I tried doing like online therapy and then it like logged me out and then I had to like reschedule and I was like, dude, like what the hell? Like this is so much work and I'm just like, I'm trying to talk to somebody and it feels like I have to go through all these obstacles. Like I have to put in my email, I have to do all these different things and I'm like, I just need to talk. I just need to
get it out.
Let me rant for 10 minutes and then we can hang up the call. Like and then I'll never talk to you again. Like like if I need to talk to a stranger, then like that should be like fine. But no, I feel like it is easy to do now because people prefer to do it at home because it's more comfortable. And like after COVID and everything, people got really comfortable staying at home and it's easier to do it. But at the same time, like I need like to talk to somebody like in person. It's way easier for me.
I definitely think I'm also the kind of person that, I'd much rather trauma dump to my best friends, you know, at 3 a.m. But I've also had to learn to get over myself.
Let's be real here.
I need to get over myself because, like, yes, going to you and dumping my entire life and all of my problems and all my anxieties and everything feels so amazing. But there's some things and some advice that I need to hear that sometimes friends can't give that to me.
Exactly.
Like those are like some things I need to hear from a professional. Like they have a degree for a reason. They learn you know, different coping skills and, you know, different tips and tricks to give a person that, you know, sometimes friends don't have.
Yeah.
And so I definitely think for me, I can rant and get it all out and I will feel so much better with my best friend, you know? But in the long run, there's some stuff that just cannot be handled like within my close circle.
Yeah. And then there, you know, there's also like that, you know, term of bias. So like honestly, whatever you're gonna tell me, I'm going to like accept all that, and because I love you. At the same time, like if I give you advice, it's going to be biased no matter what.
Exactly.
Because I love you and because I know you. Like it's better to get unbiased from a stranger than to get that bias, because sometimes like I also need a reality check, and so like I'll tell my mom, or you know, like I'll maybe hook up, you know, a therapy session with Michelle, and because she'll just give me like the real tea, and she'll be like, you know what, you need to do this. It needs to be the situation, because then that way I'm like, okay, I need to see a different angle of this because everybody's agreeing with me and I know something is wrong and I don't want them to be agreeing with me. And sometimes you need that. So like it's a really good outlet to have, you know, online therapy where it's easy and accessible. Even though personally I've had some hardships running into online therapy, some people love it. Some people do it. Some people,
that's like their preferred way of getting therapy is like online and like
exactly. And it's not as expensive as paying $200 like $300 an hour to go talk to somebody for like 30 minutes or like even an hour, like. Thank God for insurance, because I couldn't never pay that, and especially like broke college girls, like it's hard to find help that's like inexpensive, and like we're both out of state. Yeah,
being out of state, like this has been such a struggle. It was not really given to me until about this year. My insurance is not covered in the state of Nebraska.
Yeah,
you know, I'm from Idaho. Surrounding states, I can get everything covered there, but since Nebraska is so far and it is out of my bounds, I can't drop $300 on a 30-minute session for therapy. And so thank gosh for Hastings College. They have provided a
You will?
Yeah, with You Will. They gave, we get free sessions through them, and so that is extremely helpful for kids like me where we don't have insurance here. So yeah, slay.
Love that. Like I said, it's easier to do at home, and for those of you who guys do online therapy, like, good for you guys. I'm glad things are working out, and if you need help or you're seeking therapy and you're a Hastings College student, definitely go on to You Will, because it's free, it's flexible, they work with student hours. So if you got practice or you have, you got to finish your biochemistry homework and it's like 8 o'clock, people will meet with you right after 8 o'clock. So 8:30, 9 o'clock, there are people that will meet with you. So definitely check it out. It's a good resource to look at, and it's free. That's the best part, is that it's free. So for a lot of you out-of-staters, it is definitely worth looking at if you really need to seek help. We also have Michelle at the Wealth Center with Miss Daisy, a little support dog. Also, if you didn't know, Nova, which is Casey M, she's also a little service dog. So if you're ever in Kiewit, go and say hi. Get some little STEM time, some little STEM time with the dog. Other than that, it's been a long journey, and it's crazy that we've shared these experiences, and that we also have different experiences for how close we are. It's crazy.
Completely different
where we're at now, and it's okay to not be okay, but it's also okay to admit that you need help, and that it is totally awesome that if you can admit that you need help, like, go and seek help. Find coping strategies, find online meditation if that works for you, go on walks if that works for you, or if you need a hug, you know what, go get your hug.
And don't be afraid to try multiple things. If one thing doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work. On to the next thing. Don't be afraid to try it all.
It's just a test run, and for the freshmen too, you're going to experience a lot of different things and a lot of different big emotions that are going to come up. So use the resources you have, hug the ones tight around you, because you're in it for the long haul, and these next 3 years are going to be crazy insane, and you're going to be like, you know what, I'm glad that I had these resources now compared to when I came in and I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
So, other than that, is there anything else you want to touch on?
If you don't have anything else, I don't know.
Quick thing. When you're super stressed out or you're on the verge of a mental breakdown, what is your comfort movie? That's my question.
My comfort. It's not a movie. I love to watch Adventure Time.
She's a big Adventure Time.
I love it so much. It is on 24/7 at my house. It is my go-to, 100%.
Grab your friend. Personally, I'm a Tim Burton girl, so anything Tim Burton is always fun. I love Sweeney Todd, but my all-time favorite comfort movie would have to be Coraline. For those of you, don't come for me, because I know some of y'all probably think it's scary.
It is one of the best movies ever made.
Good plot, good animations. Don't come for me. Other than that, thank you so much for joining me on this little couch.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I love you.
I love you more.
And we'll catch you next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, review, and tune in for our next episode. Bye!